What's going on, guys? This is Serious the Warlock here, and I just wanted to really quick put out a video, uh, pretty much because I was asked a lot of questions about how I went from 85 to 90 in a very short period of time. It took me almost about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes per level. So in total, I went from 85 to 90 in about 5 or 6 hours. Now, I'm not claiming that this is the fastest way to level, but it's certainly not the slowest. I just Googled a couple different ways to level and decided to pick this one because I really, at this point, I was sick of questing and instances were taking too long and I was getting derpy groups and I was just sick of it and I just wanted to hit 90 the fastest way possible. Really quick before I explain it, because I'm also being asked this a lot too, this is my third level 90 Warlock. The reason behind that, I have a level 90 Alliance Warlock, I have a level 90 Horde Warlock. The Horde Warlock's sitting around 2k in RBGs, the Alliance Warlock's around 2.1 in RBGs, and sometimes I don't have friends that are online, and I would just like to RBG just for the sake of RBGing, without caring about MMR or rating or how good the team is or if you're doing a carry or anything. Like, doesn't matter. I get asked by friends, like, will you come and play with us? It's an 1800 group. It's like, well, that's about 300 points under me. I really don't want to. Well, this Warlock's going to be to play with anyone. So in my downtime, I can still have fun. I can enjoy Warlocks enough that I still want to continue to play a Warlock, but I don't want to risk my rating, and that's what this will be for. So this Warlock, his name is not Serious, fittingly, I guess. Alright, so here's a really quick screenshot of what I'm farming. They're these little worms on the Timeless Isle, and they're called Spotted Swarmers. They're fall in packs underneath of these trees, and there's, I don't know, maybe 10 of them in a group. I didn't really do the math, but I think there's like 10 of them in groups underneath of the trees. They move very slow, they're very easy to kite, and you can AoE them down, and they give a ton of experience. Here's a quick map of the spawn locations from Wowhead. All the little yellow dots that you see there, they're all the spawn locations from Wowhead. And the red dots are the trees that I would farm to. There may be other trees in that mix somewhere, maybe. I may have missed one. But I was also trying to avoid being spotted by Horde when I was doing this. I also wanted to be not spotted by anybody because I didn't want people taking my farming spot. The most difficult part about this was trying to find a server that I could farm on without being bothered. So Darkspear was definitely overcrowded and overrun. Tichondrius was too. So what I had to do is find a friend that was on a completely dead server, had them invite me, and then I would transition over their server and play there, and I would just server hop until I found one that was pretty empty. This took a lot of time and effort. I was ganked a lot, but in the end I felt like it was worth it because I really did not want to quest or farm instances anymore. So taking the time to find a server that I could farm these things peacefully on was well worth it to me. If you are going to look for a friend to do this with, to switch which server you're located on, they have to be the leader of the group. They have to be a higher level than you. You can't invite someone that's a lower level than you are. And they're even allowed to go offline. So if you have a friend that's on an alt that's on a dead server, you could get them to do you a quick favor, log in, invite you to the group, and then log out. And they don't need to be logged in for you to continue to play on their server, just as long as they were the leader and they log out and they're a higher level than you. Okay, so here we are inside the map. You can see there's 3 spawn locations here. They're all underneath these 3 trees. These were my favorite trees to farm, especially when they were all up at the same time. It took about 6 minutes or so maybe to respawn, I'm not sure. But you can just drop rain of fire and run away. They move very slow, and even when they get into range with you, they try to cast. Their cast is slow, and if you just step away from them just slightly from their cast, it'll interrupt it, and they'll be forced to worm their way closer to you a little bit and start casting again. So it's very easy to kite them around. You can Shadow Fury to stun them in place. You can drop Rain of Fire. You can fire them Brimstone spam, Incinerates, and Flags, and just very easy, very easy to kite. in between fighting them, if I couldn't find any spawn locations, I would pick on some of the birds or something else. The thing to remember though is that everything on the island gives the same experience. It doesn't matter if you're fighting an elite, it doesn't matter if you're fighting worms. Killing one worm gives you the same experience as killing one elite, and that elite is probably going to whip your ass or take you a really long time to kill it. After those 3 nodes, I would take this path to go past the bridge, careful not to aggro anything. Sometimes I would move to a little bit to the left of those trees that I came close to. This is where the 4th location is. I would just pick these up, and I would also AoE them down. Now there's also a worm that spawns. He's a rare worm, and he shows up, and I don't know exactly where he spawns, but he squirms around this area sometimes, and he has a ton of little worms that follow him around. He's a big worm, and there's a lot of little worms, and it's worth it. You can solo him, and it's worth it to attack him and AoE and kill all the little worms just for the experience. Alright, so now I'm going to mount up and head over to the last location over here. Now this last location where the bamboo is, it's actually empty, so I'm going to skip ahead to a clip where there were actually worms there. So I go straight across this path over here, and they'll be on the left hand side over here inside the bamboo. Now be careful when you're dropping your Rain of Fires here, because sometimes there is a monk, like a ghost looking monk, that's right in front of these guys. He won't pull with the pack. You just have to be careful not to hit him with your Rain of Fire, because he will whip your ass. Same thing with these guys. I drop Rain of Fires, I AoE come flag, I AoE incinerates, I use Shadow Fury to slow him down to get a little bit more damage in. And if I felt like I was taking too much damage, all I need to do is back up a little bit. They do have a dot that continues to tick on you for a short time once they land on you. But you can see it's only ticking for almost 10k, 9.8k. It max stats stacks, so it's not really that big of a deal. Then I'm going to go back where I came from, back around where this spawn spot was. I go between the trees, avoiding pulling things on the sides, which there are none right now. I wish I had a clip with them. Maybe I'll look for one. Then on the right hand side, you can see the spawns are back up, so I head back over there and I just AoE and pull the groups, and I think there's one ahead of me. It looks like someone already got to the middle group. And you can see that I'm also trying to be out-farmed by this little mage over here. Like I said, the most annoying part of this is just trying to find a spot where you can farm in peace, because a lot of people know about this. I'm not introducing anything that's really that special. And it gets taken up a lot. So you can see both these trees are actually farmed already. And I'm going to be talking to someone else about trying to join a different server already. Alright, so one last time I'll quickly show you through the path that I take. In case you guys are wondering, that ghost experience bar that you see on the screen throughout the video, that is not an add-on. That is actually just me editing and adding that in there for you guys, so you can actually see the XP that I'm gaining from killing these worms. Also, if you're wondering, I quested all the way up until the point where you can start doing instances. So I think it's level 15, and then from there I did nothing but instances all the way up from 15 to 80. I think I just spam queued instances over and over again. If you have a friend that's a tank that can mass pull, because it's so easy to mass pull, even if they're just a level or two above what the instance requires. Very easy, especially if they have heirloom gear, which I also had almost full heirloom gear. The total leveling experience for me, I think it was like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I can't remember, that I went from 1 to 90. And but I wasn't playing every day. That's not playtime. And I actually don't know what my playtime was. And then I also, oh yeah, at level 80 is when I started doing questing again. And I would only quest in a zone appropriate for my level. And I would do instances, but I would only do instances just for the quests. And then after I was done the quest, then I would go right back to questing within the world. And then once I hit level 85 is when I came here and started farming these worms. I didn't come straight away at 85. I started to quest, and I started to do instances, and I couldn't take it anymore. And so I was probably almost 86 when I came over here. But it was just about an hour per level, whatever that works out to be. I hope this video helps you guys out. If you stuck around and watched the entire thing, thank you very much. If you could throw this video a like if it helps you out, or if you just like my videos, that would help me out a bunch too. Thanks guys. I'm about to put out more RBG videos. This was just the one instructional video that I wanted to get out there really quick, just helping some people out, because I keep getting asked this question. Thanks guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.